How the narcissist shocks people. Think about that for a minute. So, the last time you probably used the word shock was maybe you were thinking about, hey, don't plug something in the wall, you may get electrocuted, you may get shocked. Well, whether you know it or not, when you were in that relationship with said person, said dark energy, you were shocked hundreds of times, probably thousands, maybe even more. You see, this is how the narcissist pulls off their scheme. This is how they pull off their manipulating techniques. They catch people off guard. They want to shock people. They want to rattle people. They want to keep people trapped and tricked in that narcissistic fog. They want people to be stuck in that trauma bond. And when you're continuously being shocked over and over and over again, and you don't know what narcissism is, you're vulnerable, you are naive, you're trapped, and you don't know what's happening to you. What you do know is that this is past tense, my hope is you're out of the relationship and you've healed or you are healing. What you do know is that this experience you were going through, it's not usual, it's abnormal. And when you were being shocked over and over and over again, you got accustomed to it. The more you became accustomed to it, the narcissist turned the volume or the dial of shocks up to punish you more and more and more. And there were times throughout that relationship when you were with the narcissist, if it lasted a length of time, meaning if it was longer than a brief period of time, there were times when they were saying to themselves, the narcissist they were saying, wow, when's this person gonna get it? I keep punishing them, I keep abusing them, I keep taking advantage of them, but they keep coming back. That question, you probably never even realized that the narcissist had asked themselves, but they did. If they didn't ask that exact question, they asked something similar to it. And I can prove that right now. What do you think a reverse discard is? See, it's all coming together. A reverse discard is when the narcissist wants you to end it with them, so they come out smelling like a rose. You're the villain, you're the bad guy, but they set it all up because they were shocking you over and over and over again until you couldn't take it. And maybe you did experience the reverse discard. That's something I don't speak of that often on the channel, but perhaps I will in the future. But everything, and I mean everything, adds up when you're in the narcissistic relationship. It is akin to death by 1,000 paper cuts. Every single day, you're being sliced. A little slice here, a bigger slice there, a micro slice there, a macro slice there. And eventually what happens, and I've shared this for so many years in videos, eventually you who had a full tank, you who was full with vigor and full with energy and positivity and all the connections and the emotions and the money and the time and the empathy and the love and everything, eventually your tank gets depleted. So you go from 100%, let's say, when you met the narcissist, down to maybe, perhaps, and I'm just using an example, it doesn't mean it's accurate, but believe me, it's very close. Then you were relegated to perhaps less than 10%. So let's use the battery example. If your battery had a full charge when you met the narcissist and you were 100%, they used you up, you're down to 10%. What do they need to do? They need to get that battery out, throw it in the bin, which is a discard. Sorry to say, a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. And they need to insert a new battery that will have a full source of charge or supply. See what I mean? This is why everything keeps going around and around and around in the narcissistic abusive cycle. And this is why the narcissist will never change. It's why they will continue to try to shock people. They will continue to try to keep people stuck and trapped in the trauma bond, in the narcissistic fog. It's why the narcissist many times disappears for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, comes back again, tries to wipe the slate clean, acts like nothing happened, or claim that they found Jesus, or they're holier than now, or they were the love of your life, they were your soulmate, or let's give it one more chance, whatever it would be. But at the end of the day, the narcissist hasn't worked on themselves. They can't work on themselves. They don't want to do the work. That's the whole premise of the narcissistic abusive cycle, which is this: the narcissist is lazy. They're a coward and they're a bully. They're riddled with anxiety. They're afraid of everything, including their own shadow. They just didn't want you to know it. But what they need is they need people to do things for them. And that's what you did. You were a supply source. You were a battery. You were somebody that was known as supply. You're not supply. You are what I coined years ago, the beautiful, bright, shining light. That's what you are. You're energy, you're beautiful, you're positive, you're abundant. My hope is you're free from the narcissist and you've gone no contact. You blocked that person and deleted them and all the flying monkeys. If you've done it, you know it served you extremely well. If you haven't, you need to ask yourself, what are you waiting for? Do you have the ability to block them soon? Because if you do, and you know they're a narcissist, They could pop up and rear their ugly head anytime they want to and try to hoover you or try to draw you back into any kind of communication. Never, and I mean never, accept a hoover. Become unhooverable. Get off the radar of the narcissist. Now, having said those things, how the narcissist shocks people, they shock people so many different ways. Think about this. Think about when they would hang up the phone on you in the very early days. You'd be communicating with them, and then all of a sudden they wouldn't even say, bye, love you. They would just click. And you'd be like, wait, did we just get cut off? What happened there? I don't know. So you would call them back, and maybe they would hang up on you again. Or maybe they would claim they were busy. Or maybe they would yell at you. Or maybe they would tell you that you'll talk later. Who knows what it would be, but they had something more important to do. They didn't want to talk to you. They wanted to punish you for being you, which is why they hung up on you. And that was a shock to your system. Over time, when you got hung up on more and more and more, you became accustomed to that, became normal. That's not good. That's not healthy. You're looking at someone here, and that was normalized for me for years. It is unacceptable, everybody, to be hung up on. That's just one small example. Another one, I've shared this for years. The narcissist, they usually walk 10, 20, 30 feet in front of you, right? Maybe even further, who knows? Why? Because they want to appear single, and they don't want to appear like they are with you. Also, they were in competition with you, so if they could get to said event or barbecue quicker than you, then they win because they're in a race. Also, they wanted to punish you because they wanted to be in front of you, kind of acting like they were an alpha when they're not. They're anything but an alpha. They are a failure. But having said that, think about it. When they would walk in front of you in the early days, you probably would say, hey, why are you doing that? Can't we be together and hold hands like other couples? And they would say, what's your problem? I'm independent. You don't need to hold my hand. You're so needy. I can't believe you would even ask that. Wow, I really need to get away from you. Or things like that. And then what happened? You would be shocked. See where it's going? All these shocks, I should say, they equaled punishment. They equaled abuse and toxicity, manipulation, mind games, and you getting lower and lower and lower on the food chain as far as the narcissist was concerned, because you were becoming replaceable. You need to remember also, side note, pro tip, everyone is replaceable to the narcissist. I was, you were, everyone is. However, when someone's battery or supply source is getting lower, what the narcissist does is they need to eject said battery and put a new one in, even if it's only for a little bit period of time till the other person gets their battery charged up, or until they come crawling back or calling or texting saying what's going on. Yes, tough pill to swallow what I just shared there, but when you're in the trauma bond and you're caught up and you don't know narcissism, you would be surprised at the things you do, because you want to get answers to questions that you have, and the only person you believe that will provide those answers is the narcissist. This is unbeknownst to you, because you don't know what narcissism is. You weren't taught this in school, so you were an open book and giving your abuser the playbook. Yes, the playbook. You didn't know any of these things. Now again, I'm going to suggest for you, if this is going over your head, or if you've missed some pieces or nuggets of wisdom in this video that's about 8 minutes now, and it'll probably wrap up at about 12 minutes, play the video. Play it a few times, and you'll notice the background. I used a different filter today for the background to be kind of blurred out so you could focus on me. I hope this helps out. Drop comments. Tell me if you like this video better or not as much. Whatever it is, I will change it. I'm still free-flowing in the Carolinas, just like always. I'll be free-flowing in other parts of this country later in the year, very soon actually. But having said those things, shocks. Those are two shocks that the narcissist, I gave you examples. Other shocks would be this. Let's say you had a death in the family when you were married to the narcissist, or you were with them. It didn't matter if you were or weren't, but let's say you were. Did they attend the funeral? Did they allow you to grieve? Did they allow you to shed tears and process things? No. They probably misdirected your attention from having you grieve and process the death or the passing of a loved one. They probably directed that energy attention back into them. There's another shock for you. There is so much to discuss on the healing path post-narcissistic relationship. Every time you peel one layer of the onion back, there are 2 more to be peeled back. When you peel 2 of those back, you have 4 more. You peel those 4 back, you've got 16 more, on and on and on. That's why I create videos each and every day, and that's why you need to continue to come back and keep your cup full. But you were shocked over and over and over again. I'm going to go back old school. You were a kid. Remember what a static shock was? Well, I'll tell you what a static shock is. It's when you live, my example, I'm going to use one. It's when you are in an environment, let's say that electricity or static builds up on you, on your body, because we are electricity, we are energy. You're getting it. Everything's coming together. If you've been with me 6 years, you know how everything's energy, everything. But you would be walking on the carpet in your house with your socks, and you would touch your sibling or somebody on the shoulder, and they would get shocked, and they'd be like, oh, what's that? And you're like, oh, I gotcha. And they're like, oh, you static shocked me. Well, remember those days? That's what a kid does, but it's essentially harmless, but it does rattle you. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Well, that's what the narcissist does as an adult, but it's not fun and games. It's meant to destroy your life. Understand what I'm mentioning to you. The narcissist does nothing but continue to punish anybody, and I mean anybody who gets too close to them. That includes their kids, their stepkids, their spouses, their siblings, their parents, their friends, if they have any legitimate friends, other narcissists, anybody. The narcissist can never, ever be satiated. That's why they're on the constant quest, looking, searching, scouring, slithering this planet called Earth for the next new shiny object or the next supply source. That's what you were. That's what I was. We are no longer supply. We are beautiful, bright, shining lights. So before I close the video, I'll share this with you. All those shocks that became normalized for you, I just gave you 3 examples. I could talk about this ad nauseum for the next day straight. All those shocks did damage to you. When an average person gets shocked, it's because hypothetically they did something, like they dropped a glass and they're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Or maybe they're on the freeway driving and someone cut them off. Like, oh, these are one-off experiences. They weren't done deliberately or intentionally. The narcissist does everything deliberately and intentionally to punish anybody who gets too close to them. And by shocking them, that is the #1 way they can keep people frozen, keep people stunned, keep people in disbelief, and keep people tethered to them. Play this video over and over and over again and understand this. We are all connected. Everything is energy. I gave you an illustration of static shock and how the narcissist shocked you. What's the common denominator? Energy. You are energy. I am energy. Protect your energy from this day going forward. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all. I'll talk with you tomorrow. And how the narcissist shocks people, I just gave you 3 examples. There are millions of examples. How about another one? Let's say that you and the narcissist had a shared checking account or bank account somehow, for whatever reason. If you did that and then you looked and one day it was cleaned out, what happened? Well, there's a shock for you right there. They just took all the money. And because why? Because the narcissist loves money more than they love. What do they love more than money? They love your money more than money. If they could grab it and disappear, there's another shock. Yeah, these things happen to so many people. They're happening right now as I'm creating this video, and they're happening right now as you're consuming the content. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to go no contact and block that person. The shocks will stop once you block them. The healing will begin once you block them. The path will be free of toxicity once and for all. Love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.